Hey guys, happy Wednesday evening. I am so excited to be coming live to you tonight. It's Wednesday, which means it's Wellness Wednesday for Makeup by Leanne Holistic Health and Beauty. That's my business. And I'm so super excited to be talking about gut health with you tonight. Huge topic that I am absolutely incredibly excited to share with you. I'm just going to bring them on the camera now. My beautiful friend, Janet Budgen.
Hi. So funny.
Yeah.
Do you have earphones? Somewhere. Yeah. Thank you. There we go. Perfect.
That's better.
Awesome.
That's better. So super excited to have you on my Wellness Wednesday call tonight. And hello, Taryn, you're joining us. That's awesome. I'm sure we're going to get lots more people because I know that you have a story to tell and there are lots of people that want to hear it. But let me introduce you. This is my beautiful friend and business partner, Janet Budgen, for any of you that don't know her or not following her already on social media. Janet is a mum, married with two beautiful young boys, and has literally been living and breathing healthy living as Arbonne as a preferred choice for several years now. But the reason why she's on this call tonight is because I'm absolutely fascinated and inspired by her personal story and her journey with her health. Janet will share more, but she has briefly allowed me to share with you guys that she has actually overcome 3 autoimmune diseases and adrenal fatigue by eating clean and complementing that with Arbonne Nutrition. She's done this alongside a naturopath and healed her gut and healed her body without pharmaceuticals. And that is very important, without. So I'm not going to take up more of your time. I'm just so privileged to have you on this call because you have a lot to share. And if somebody in my network can hear your story and be inspired enough to actually reach out to embrace this incredible product range, then that is good for me because I feel like I've done my job. So over to you, beautiful Janet.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I
Awesome.
can. Maybe you just want to start off by sharing a little bit about, what it was like for you before Arbonne came in your life.
Yep.
And some of the things you had to overcome.
Absolutely. And if there's anything that you want me to say or I haven't said, just please just interrupt, and because you know how we can get, and when we get really passionate, we can forget certain things. So it is such an honor to share with Leanne's network my story and my journey, and I just hope that it can help someone because our big passion is prevention. You don't have to have a serious story like mine to take your health seriously, and that's my big passion is prevention. And like my husband always says, unfortunately, most people do wait until there's a serious problem. So before Arbonne, guys, I always have known deep in my intuition, my gut, no pun intended, that there was something not right with my body. I was always the first one to fall asleep at sleepovers. I would be sick several times a year, laid out in bed for a week, like not able to get out of bed, really just not well. And in high school, I knew that there was something wrong with me. And I got tested by 2 different GPs. I was so adamant that there's something not right. And all the blood work came back. I mean, I'm 38, I'm 39 in a couple of weeks. And so back then, I don't think they had the certain testing that they do now. And so both tests came back, everything's fine. And both GPs told me that I had a weak immune system. And so that was the story that I told myself for 20 years. And so it wasn't until 4 years ago that I had enough. And I was in bed again. I had a chest infection and I couldn't talk without spluttering phlegm everywhere. It was so horrible. I don't know if you remember. I mean, this is, you know, into my Arbonne business. And I went, enough is enough. Something has to be wrong with me. Maybe it was 3 years ago. Sorry, 3 years ago. Wow. And I went, that's it. So I went to an integrated GP, had testing done, and she was blown away. I literally had no good bacteria in my gut, and my bad bacteria was so high that they couldn't count it. And she said, I know without a shadow of a doubt you have celiac disease. I'm pretty sure you have a couple other things going on. I had an endoscopy, I had a colonoscopy, I had everything done I needed to get done, and everything confirmed that I did have celiac disease. And a couple of other things going on, you know, but to be honest, like, it was such a head spin. Like, what's going on? Hold on. Like, what I need to do first. And so, this was, so prior to this diagnosis, I had started my business 5 years ago this month. And I went, so in, I think June that year, I went, okay, I need to lose weight. I couldn't lose weight after having Max. And I've always yo-yo dieted my whole life. I've never stayed the same size. And I went, right. I was not, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I hope that's okay. I was not into the whole shake thing. I didn't understand it. I wanted to eat whole food. I thought that I knew what healthy living was. I've always been very into healthy living and exercising, going to the gym, looking after my body, or so I thought. I thought I knew what it was like to be healthy. And so, I did our 30-day program to the T. I did it without cheating, and I had the most incredible results. I was blown away and felt amazing. And so I followed this whole 80-20 rule where I ate well 80% of the time. Then I still had pizza. I still had beer. I loved beer. I loved pizza. So that was like my cheat. And then a year into this, I went, okay, something's not right. And this is where my diagnosis came in. And so I know for a lot of people, my lifestyle right now seems really, it seems really over the top, I guess I should say. But, oh no, it was 4 years. Sorry, I'm trying to get a timeline. It'll be 4 years in June. And so I gave up gluten and dairy. I haven't had gluten and dairy for 4 years. And, you know, I know for some people it's like, oh my goodness, it's like cutting off your arm. But I think when, you know, what I focus on with people is how you feel, you know, and, you know, we have a saying, you know, within Arbonne, you know, you don't, most bodies don't realize how good they're meant to feel. And that's how I was, guys. I thought that having brain fog was normal. I thought that waking up feeling like I didn't sleep was normal. I thought that being tired all the time was normal. And I always had a story to tell myself. I was in college and I was, you know, studying late at night and partying. You know, then I was in my 20s, then I was in my 30s, and I had kids. And, you know, there's always an excuse and a reason to not feel good. And till I absolutely had to start looking after my health. And I dove into research. And I'd already... I loved Arbonne's products. I loved the program, but it wasn't until I really started to look into it when I went, wow, I am blown away. I'm blown away with the products because, guys, this is the thing. Like Leanne said, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, and Will didn't go to preschool until he was over 3.5 years old. I had, you know, kids at home with me the whole time, and it was chaotic. My younger son has had respiratory problems. We've been in and out of hospital for years. My life was chaos. Guys, I needed easy. I needed something that was easy. I needed healthy living made easy. And I think for a lot of people, you know, there's so much out there and there's so many things, you know, I should be doing this and doing that. Guys, this is why my naturopath is so passionate with me. And she's done a video as well. You know, Leanne can pass it along to you if you want, supporting our 30 Days to Healthy Living program. And, you know, I do like to say that I've healed my gut and I've healed my body with no pharmaceuticals. I do like to make a caveat with that. I am on a natural thyroid medication, but there was a large chance that that wasn't going to work. And I did have to brace myself and accept that I might have to go on pharmaceuticals. And I'm very grateful that I didn't. And so what I love most about Arbonne, besides it's so easy and convenient, and when you have certain when you have any autoimmune disease, there are certain foods that you should avoid. And I can go into that. And obviously it's an opinion. Everything that I say is my opinion, and this is what I've tried and erred at, tried and worked for myself. But what I love a lot, besides the products, is Arbonne really takes the holistic approach. It's not just, about what you eat. It's not just, about diet. It is, mind, body, and spirit, and that's what I've done the past couple of years is, I've dove into meditation. I've done, I do grounding, where I put my feet in earth and water and something as often as possible. I have to look after my sleep. I have to rest. I have to be kind to myself. I have to drink lots of water. And, I don't drink alcohol very often anymore. And I know that this is such a touchy subject for some people, and it's no judgment at all. For me personally, with my body, I can't drink very often. It is a rare occasion when I drink. And when I do drink now, it's only a couple of drinks because my body just can't handle it. I don't really drink coffee that much anymore. I'll have the odd coffee. I'm very, very, very particular on where I get the coffee from, because I do have plant-based milk and, it has to be organic. But it just doesn't really agree with my body. And so this is stuff that I have found out for me personally over my journey, because this is the thing, is that even if you don't have celiac disease and, you don't have autoimmune diseases, we are all exposed to over-processed food right now. And even if you're buying, organic, it doesn't mean that, it's packed full of the nutrients like it used to. There's all this different research coming out. At the end of the day, guys, our gut is the most important thing that we need to be looking after. And, some people say it's your second brain. I really personally feel like it's your first brain, because when your gut is not right, this isn't right. And, last year was very challenging. I was diagnosed with my second and my third, 17 months ago, I was diagnosed with my second and third autoimmune disease. And last year I was battling adrenal fatigue. And I would have, like my naturopath said, I would have had it for a while. But there's just all these layers. Like I was deficient in so many vitamins and minerals and pyrrole disorder and deficient in melatonin. So even though I was sleeping, I wasn't getting proper sleep. So there's lots of different, layers to the onion. And like I said, I hope and pray that people don't have what I have. But what I want to offer is hope. I feel amazing now, and I have very strict guidelines around my life. And I think when your health is compromised, it kind of changes everything for you. And I'm so grateful that what I've gone through wasn't life-threatening. But the thing is that if I didn't look after myself, it is life-threatening. And this is where we all are at as a society. We all have stress. We all, we have to look at our environment as well. And, like what we are putting in our bodies, it is hands down by far the most important thing that you can do for yourself. Like when you can look after your gut, when you can look after your nutrition, there's nothing more precious. I mean, if you don't have your health, it was scary last year. It was really scary. I mean, I was sleeping 12, 13 hours at night. I was tired during the day. I had no energy to do much at all. It was challenging. And, through seeing, kinesiologist and seeing my naturopath, I saw a homeopath, I dove into what I can do to help heal my body. And so I'm very passionate about Eastern and Western medicine. I always like to say that. I think that there is a place for both. But I am very proud to say that I have healed my body with no pharmaceuticals. And, one product that I do have to give a plug into, because we've just launched it in Australia, is our Digestion.
Yes,
is our Digestion Plus. And so my naturopath looked at all of the products that I was, that Arbonne had and using. And my parents used to ship it to me from the US. And I was having 2 Digestion Plus a day. So you're meant to have one. It's a pre and probiotic. I was having 2 a day for like a good 14 months, and that's how good our products are. is to have someone from the medical, you know, profession that I trust and value her opinion, you know, support Arbonne's products. And so we launched it in Australia last month, I think it was. And I'm stoked. I don't have to pay for shipping anymore from the US. I can just buy it here. And guys, if you do nothing else, like if you just go, whatever, this lady, guys, just take the Digestion Plus. Take the Digestion Plus and go slow.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a quick fix. It's not a diet. You know, I don't diet. You know, I whole food and eat healthy every day, and I'm not perfect. You know, I still slip up. You know, I'm just very fortunate that my slip-ups are still healthy-ish. You know, I have to go for the vegan chocolate, and I have to go for, you know, things.
Did you know that there's a vegan Magnum now?
I did see that, yes. I did see that.
A vegan Magnum.
Yeah.
Which I have not seen.
And that's it.
But just on that note, I was listening to a recording today on YouTube from a GP, a doctor. He's not an Arbonne consultant anyway. He's an independent GP, and he was talking at a conference, and he actually was sharing with the people at this conference that Arbonne are absolutely streets ahead of anyone else when it comes to gut health. I was sitting there going, am I listening to the right thing here? Because, you know, that's the thing, is that we've got a product range that suits all different types of budgets, all different types of needs. But the fact that we've been doing this for a very, very long time, and that it is endorsed by the medical profession, he specifically spoke about the Digestion Plus. And I 100% can just say, guys, if you're listening to this live or watching the recording, if you're not open to embracing any of our detox or cleanse programs, or even just getting onto our breakfast club where you can just replace a sugary cereal or toast with a healthy smoothie, just get onto the Digestion Plus, because I have plugged into testimonials in the last couple of days of how people of all ages are literally healing their bodies and healing their gut and sorting out skin issues, autoimmune diseases, all sorts of things, just by this one product. It's absolutely nuts. And I'm just blown away by the results that are just coming over and over and over again. Like, I look at my app, and every half an hour there's another 10 posts and testimonials where people are just raving about our nutrition, about our programs, and also this product, Digestion Plus. So for any of you that are out there, whether you're connected to me or Janet, you can get your hands on any of these products to sample. We coach people, we hold your hand, and we actually are able to support you on your journey as well. I have a really interesting question that people might want to know, is that, you know, when you're talking about, you know, you were diagnosed as celiac, so you didn't really have an option. Like, you were like, okay, I got to remove gluten from my diet. Someone who doesn't have celiac, that is looking at the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living program, and they go, okay, I have to eliminate gluten, I have to eliminate dairy, I can't have alcohol, I can't have coffee. Like, how hard is that? Like, how does Arbonne actually help people to overcome that? And how, like, it is a mindset thing, because we can all do something if we really put our mind to it. But a lot of these are addictions or habits. How did you overcome that? And how, like, what would be your sort of tips around how to overcome that? And how does Arbonne do that in their program? How do they help you replace food?
Yep. So as you were speaking, I went, oh, I actually forgot one really big bit of information. So within a year of me being diagnosed as a celiac, I had my blood tested again. And my naturopath literally said to me, Janet, I've never, ever, 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 ever seen anyone come from the severity of where you were at to where you're at now. What are you doing? And so just to, you know, give you an idea, I think the good bacteria in my gut was 9 and the bad was 900, which means that it was too high to count. And within a year, 2 of my levels were at 0 and 1 was at 9 and 1 was at 11. She had never seen anyone come from where I was at, guys. And like I simply say, and I said, have you heard of Arbonne? And she said, yes. And all I did, I'm not saying all because it is a big deal. I gave up dairy and gluten. I gave up alcohol, like a lot. I didn't drink a lot. And, I gave up coffee a lot. I didn't really have refined sugar. I was meditating, like I said, everything else, so it is the holistic approach. But guys, like that's all I did up until that point. So that was before my second and third autoimmune and the adrenal fatigue was diagnosed. I think that the underactive thyroid was there all along. I think it was definitely hidden. But that's what can happen, really quickly. Our bodies are amazing. So, what we focus on, and I'm so glad that you said that, Leanne, because what we focus on is we focus on swapping. People say to me all the time, oh my goodness, what do you eat? I eat really amazing food. And I think once my eyes were opened to what healthy really was, and what healthy was for my body, I should say as well. When I first did the program, and I added gluten back in and I added dairy, in bits and pieces, I knew how it affected my body. And there is something called, if you're aware, so there's celiac disease and there's also silent celiac. And I'm what you would call a silent celiac. So I don't have a lot of the same symptoms that a normal celiac, or not that one's normal and one's not, but I'm a silent celiac. And so a lot of my symptoms went undetected. Except for when I was sick. And so that's how my body processed it, was it just laid me out flat for like weeks at a time. What we focus on is swapping, especially these days. I've met celiacs people who've been celiac for 20, 30 years, and they're like, you have no idea how easy it is right now. You go to Woolies and there is a whole like aisle of healthy foods, and it is, you do have to be careful, with gluten-free, because a lot of it is still packed with sugar. But my point is there's a lot, like we swap a lot, and it's really simple. Like all of our dinners are dairy-free and gluten-free. It's so simple. It's literally just swapping. And I think what I always say to someone is, how do you feel? Like, how do you really feel right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you waking up? Are you energized? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling good throughout the day? Do you have, brain fog? And to be honest, I didn't realize how bad my brain fog was until it wasn't, right? So, for some people, it's not weight loss. It might be their skin. It might be their sleep. Like there's all these different, how our body processes all the toxins. So what we focus on is swapping, guys, and it's not about being perfect. For a lot of people, cutting out dairy is a big deal. Cutting out gluten is a big deal, whatever it is. So it's, if you have something, once, that's okay. You're still making progress. Mm-hmm. And so what I love is that, it's not a, you can't, we encourage you not to, but what the whole reason behind it is that when you reintroduce certain foods, so say you've done the 30 days or the 10 days, and then you have gluten again, become aware of how your body feels, and then you might go, oh, do you know what? I feel bloated. I feel tired. I'm a bit gassy, all these, things that you might not have realized before. All of a sudden you go, okay, I'm aware of this. And that's empowerment. So it's not to say that you can't ever have cheese again or whatever it is that you want, but it's when you eat that, it's knowing how your body's going to be affected. And so you might go, actually, you know what? My body doesn't work well with gluten. I get a headache or I feel lethargic, whatever it is. And that's empowerment. And ultimately,
it's like,
go ahead.
Yeah, so it was like specifically, I did a live a few months ago about that I couldn't believe I gave up my coffee habit in the morning. And I still craved the taste of it in the afternoon. And I was absolutely shocked because I would have my coffee in the afternoon and then my body would still be craving a fizz stick, because the fizz stick being caffeine derived from green tea plant, which is alkaline, and it's packed with vitamin B's, and it's got your guarana and it's your ginseng, and it's yummy to drink, and it just gives you so much energy. So there I was having my coffee after lunch going, oh, I've had the taste, but I still feel low. And then like, it doesn't matter how many more coffees I would have, I wouldn't feel like I could actually be feeling my best. But I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't had that first stick to replace it. And so I would still go for the first stick because I knew that I was replenishing my vitamin Bs, I was getting the energy. And so I guess it actually opened my eyes to the fact that it's not completely eliminating. It's eliminating, but at the same time, it's replacing with healthy alternatives. And it's not necessarily something that you have to do all the time. So Arbonne do a thing now called 70-20-10, which 70% of the time you can stick to that, doing the program 100%. 20% of the time, you know, if you can actually say, oh, I'm out with a friend for lunch, so I'm going to have that feta cheese in my salad. You know, I'm not going to die by having it. It's okay. And then you can have your cheat days as well, because we're all human. And this is not meant to be a quick fix diet. You know, people that have had success with it actually do it over and over again, because it's a lifestyle. So you're making changes that you can incorporate beyond the 30 days, which is so super awesome. Yeah, so I'm actually just so glad that you came on here tonight to share with everybody your story. Thank you for doing that. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And yeah, I just would like to say, if anybody has any other questions or comments, please just put them down at the bottom and we will answer them for you. I know Janet's spoken a lot about her story. Before we pop off here, I thought I'd probably share just a teeny little bit about me. I've had my Arbonne business for 3 years, and I was introduced to nutrition 3 years ago, and I didn't do the program probably only a year into my business. But what I did do from day one, and that was more, you know, the products are there, let me try them anyway, was I just got into having a smoothie every morning. So I wasn't cleansing, I wasn't detoxing, I didn't actually have any major medical issues with me. But here's the thing, guys, I actually did have a thyroidectomy 20 years ago, and I was on medication for many years, and I hadn't been on that for a long time. But whenever I went to the GP to get my bloods tested, they would always tell me that I was bordering, my cholesterol was very high, and at the last blood test that I was actually bordering diabetes, like it was danger zone. And then Arbonne came into my life, and all I did was replace my yogurt and my sugary whatever I was having on top of it with fruit with an Arbonne smoothie, which is 20 grams of vegan protein. There's no whey in there, there's no artificial colors or flavors, there's no fructose, no corn syrup, there's nothing crap in there. And that's all I did. And within 1 year of just one little change, I went to my doctor, got my blood test like I normally would, and they rang me up and said, what are you doing? Because your levels are like way off the charts. We've never ever seen anything like this. And this is what I'm saying to you guys. If you're sitting here going, oh, that's a whole lot of crock, I couldn't do that, I'm not going to give up that, I'm not going to do this. But you know what? One tiny little change in your daily habits can change your life. And if you haven't tried Arbonne, make it a choice. You know, it is your choice. We know that our products are the best in the world, but it's up to you and only you. And all I can say is that's the only thing I did. No cleansing, no detoxing. All I did was one smoothie a day, and I literally saved me from having to have diabetes. And that's hereditary in my family. I have other people in my family that are suffering with that right now and have, you know, grandparents, and it's hereditary. And so with my hypothyroid and everything else going on, I just cannot believe the power of one smoothie. Anyway,
that's amazing
about it, because it's not hard. Like, it's actually not hard. There are people out there that are, yeah, this is just simple. One simple little change can make a huge, huge difference. So anyway, my lovely, was there anything else you wanted to say before we pop off?
No, Leanne is amazing. She will support and help you with anything. She's amazing.
Yeah.
Have a great night.
Thank you so
Pleasure.
much. Bye.